Welcome. Now, we're in a time of completion, and this has to do with, we have eclipse season coming up here, starting on the 14th of October. And we also had the autumn equinox, which I would have loved to have had a reading for that, but no clue. Just had no clue because I've been so busy expanding. And of course, because this is a really big time, we're in a time of having a completion of understanding separation, but this is where God has a plan, right? Love wins, because we're going to heal from separation, and by the fact that we understand that the devil is using our heart's desires to keep us separate. And what we're going to do is we're going to heal, and we're going to see that the separation that the devil has shown us is, we're going to use that patterning in order to separate ourselves from the devil. So we are in a time of completion, and this is when we go back home to everything. And this is where we heal and restore wholeness. You know, this is the two fish coming together and really understanding that Pisces energy. That Pisces is the oldest sign in the zodiac, where we have the two fish that can swim apart when they're afraid, but they come together. But we're going to come together. We're going to use separation and what the devil has shown us in order to separate ourselves from the devil and these lower vibrational patterns that are keeping us stuck. So we've seen this. We're in a time of completion, and we're coming together. So restoring balance as we spin the wheel, and autumn is here. And of course, it's beautiful that it's happening during Libra season. And what this has to do with is the Knight of Cups here being able to see love and true love and understanding what building with true, eternal, divine love is the creation of this space and place here, our 10 of Cups. And we know this is part of our divine inheritance. The other part being the 10 of Pentacles, we're going to get to in a second, okay? Now, we know that would have loved to have been here for the full moon reading, but we couldn't be. So this was what was scribed. We shared this. It has to do with transformation. The moon in Aries. We make art with our pain. We know Chariot energy, leave the devil having a hold over our energy. We elevate with God and expand with love, the lovers. And this has to do with the two of Earth. Two paths become one, and we are in a time of transformation with our true selves. And that's the time we're in. We're transforming with our true selves here. And that's why Scorpio was here. Thank you. And this is our new self. Right there. We've seen what we needed to see, and this has to do with what we've seen within the lower world. And the Knight, of course here, the Knight of Cups is making a compromise, but it's making a compromise by making a comparison between two things that are different but are also the same. And this is really seeing himself reflected back to himself within this cup, but also his feminine. And remember, we're doing this from within to without. So we're expanding with our feminine and seeing our true selves from within to without. And also, as we're doing that, we're seeing our counterpart. And remembering we're one, and that we want to build this with our counterpart. So we're in a time of the restoration of balance. But what we are going to do in here is, thank you to Libra season, is we're healing from laziness, but we're also understanding that we also do need to honor rest. We need to honor rest in the feminine and the time of rejuvenation, but this is not being lazy anymore. We're going to get back to what's ordinary. We're going to get back to work in the Garden of Venus. We're working in the Garden of Venus, and it has to do with our morality. So we're understanding separation. We're understanding, as we just got into this, how we're going to use this in order, understanding separation, to separate ourselves from the devil having a hold over our energy through our heart's desires. And we're going to have our time of completion, and we're going to heal. And we're going to have a recalibration and a celebration, of course, and this is connected to the Three of Cups. And this has to do with our creativity. We're going to celebrate our creativity. Because what we're doing here is we're healing from fragmented energy. This is a restoration of us. And we're honoring that we are expanding with the cup of lust here. And this was all part of a divine plan. This has been a sacred experience because this has to do with waking the lion and expanding with this part of ourselves. So this is our connection to working with the divine matrix. And we got into this a lot last time we met up. If you haven't checked those readings yet, they'll be linked down below in the description. There we're back 1 and 2, okay? So we talk about this. And what we're doing is, sorry guys, we're in a time of transformation here. We're in a time of honoring transformation from within. This has to do with stillness, quieting the mind, and expanding with our true self. Remember, this is authentic. And we're about to have an expansion with that. And this is connected to meditation and slowing down. And this is literally expanding from within to without. We're within here. And there's a connection to this last full moon in Aries and our next full moon. Okay? This has to do with what's happening on the path of the moon. This has to do with a restoration of balance. We're restoring balance. And this crustacean here is showing us that we are about to expand, and it's going to be through pain. Remember, we're going to make art with our pain. This crustacean, right when it molds its shell, we know that that's painful, and it's also very vulnerable after that, and it's going to have to take care of itself. So when we separate ourselves here, we're going to have to see at a deeper level of how to take care of ourselves. And as we learn how to take care of ourselves, it helps us to take care of all of life. And this has something to do with letting all of life in. Like, we're going to let all of life in because we're healing from separation. And something is seen here, and I want to get an activation for what that is. I just want to get an activation for what is seen here. And look, this is the eclipse. This has to do with the eclipse. So let's see what's being seen. Oh, guys, I'm feeling called to go here. Hang tight. Let's see what's being seen here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what is it? Yeah, it's Scorpio. Purification to resurrect the secrets of, resulting from the power of. Okay, and then we have the extraordinary power of prayer, the highest and lowest aspects of, and control the situation. And this has to do with the transformation. And of course, it's connected to Aries, which this was just that confirmation right there from the universe. Our willpower, what do you think or know about? Do it in your own way. And, right? Energies to meet the challenges of your desires regarding, resulting from the honesty and strength of. So this has to do with our transformation. We just got into right here. We're transforming with our authentic self. Okay. So, because we know that this does have to do with the eclipse. Oh, gosh, I picked up the stack and this is just, here we go. I love it. I love it. This is a seagull, my dad's bird. He loved eagles and seagulls. I just realized he was a poet, and I used to say I'm a poet and don't even know it. Okay, so something is being seen here. This has to do with this eclipse. Okay. What is it? Okay. Let's see if I feel this one. Yeah, I feel it. Alchemy of the Four of Wands, Jupiter of living fire, and we know that this is what we're building. So this is the Four of Wands. This is like a completion with expanding with the Father, expanding with force. So something is seen here. We're going to share that message within a moment, but we're going to finish sharing what's happening here. So hang tight and we will share these, okay? Now, whatever this message has to do with, it's going to complete, like this message here is going to complete what we're sharing. So I'm curious to see how this all ties in, because this has to do with seeing through an illusion, but through this illusion, we saw ourselves. The masculine saw the matter. So the masculine, being the energy, saw the matter in order to expand from. But it was through a tower moment. This is what has happened. It was through a tower moment. But through this tower moment, the star is here helping us to repair. We're going to build anew. We're going to create anew. And it's connected to the Six of Coins. It's a payout. It's a payout for the work that we're doing through the earth as we expand through the earth on our mission here. And it all has to do with this cup. It all has to do with this cup and these two fish uniting. But they had to separate in order to understand how to become one. And they had to see what they had to see. Remember, this has to do with Pisces, and this sign is, remember, the oldest in the zodiac, but it also is going back home to God, to one, to the all, to the everything, but it's in order to create with. But we heal with what we're escaping from. We heal from addictions. We heal from understanding all the things that we see within this world, the farther and deeper that we get, thus into the rabbit hole, as many people say, right? And we're healing from a Seven of Swords situation, but it activated us. This activated us. This is where we become whole, and we pick healing. This, okay, this activated us. And look, oh, and guys, I just got the memo. Look at Four of Wands in a time of completion. Four of Wands. The alchemy of the Four of Wands in a time of completion. It's official. Okay, so I'm really excited to get the rest of the message here. This is the activation of our Ten of Pentacles. And remember, this is the other half of our divine inheritance, what we came here to create. And now we expand with the wheel. And look, there's Jupiter right here. And this has to do with the sword right now. We're laser focusing on the sword. Because why? We are working with the King of Swords. It's Libra season. And there's a third eye activation happening within here. Because we have understood how to create peace, and how we need to create peace is cutting ourselves away from this space and place and restoring balance, restoring peace. So in order to do this, we need to clear up what's happening within the mind, but we need to see the truth, and the truth is connected to our heart. There is a heart chakra activation here, as well as with our throat. And this is where the completion is honored. And we spoke about the last few times we met up, this is connected to Scorpio, a transformation, Virgo through the earth. But look, it was activated during Lionsgate with the two fish coming together, and our authenticity here with Aquarius. But now there's a connection to Cancer, and this has to do with that crustacean. So we see what we need to see within. Of course, it's the truth. And how to cut ourselves free. We're seeing, how do I cut myself free from here? I know how I need to cut myself free. God has shown me. I've been shown. I've been shown the way. So here it is, okay? We take this sword and we cut ourselves free, thanks to spirit, as we expand our soul with our spirit. And we go. We're out of there. And where are we going? Okay? When we leave here, we've gone. We're coming back together. We're coming back as one. But we are seeing something. Remember, oh look, and there's that serpent. There's a transformation right there. What we're seeing is here. It has to do with this crustacean. We're gonna get a message for what's happening with this crustacean. We're gonna get an activation too. I'll be sharing that. So hang tight with that. This crustacean here is connected right to the Knight of Cups. And look, here is the resurrection. Here's the transformation. The peacock is our world's connection to the phoenix rising from the ashes. So something has been seen here, and look at that crustacean in there. And this is our connection to the Knight of Cups, here and here. And we've received all these cards on all of our readings, like as always, all coming together. So we know that we're healing from tension as we restore motion. It has to do with the cup. It has to do with the cup. We picked the right cup when we saw, remember, when we saw through with the Seven of Cups, we saw what we needed to see. We picked the right cup. And we're healing, and look, this is where we've set ourselves free. Officially, okay? We officially set ourselves free. But before we get any further, let's get an activation though, because we're meeting up in the Six of Cups, and we're meeting up in the water, and this is how we're restoring balance. And as we restore balance, we are evolving. We're evolving the species and came here to do what we needed to do. Okay? And we know that this all has to do with the Chariot. This has to do with the Chariot. We receive this activation as we remember, we're restoring balance, and we're healing from tension as we restore motion. But it's all connected to the cup right now. It's all connected to the cup as we expand our soul with our spirit, and we get well. We literally get well. Be emptied to fill back up, or we have been emptied and we're being filled back up. But this is so we can move forward. We can heal from manipulation. We're going to heal from manipulation, and we're going to express our true selves. But it's what we saw when we had that third eye activation. We were creating peace. Okay? Now, this does all tie back into the moon. This does all definitely tie back into the moon. And what the masculine saw here, the masculine and the feminine, okay? When they turn back to God, okay? This separation is what's united us back to God in order to have this completion and heal. And it is connected to, of course, our 10 of Cups. We're going to heal from deprivation, and we're going to expand with our prosperity. And it has to do with the third eye activation. What we saw within, that we know there's the tree of life. And look, there's the two fish coming together, and we're going. But we have to heal from gluttony. We have to heal from gluttony, and that is our abundance, okay? We're not going to overtake. We're not going to be a virus and just take and take and take and take and consume and consume and consume and consume and not give a shit. What we're going to do is we are going to care. We're going to activate with our authentic patterns, and we're going to want to give back. And we're going to want to take less, and we're going to change the patterning. We're going to give before we take, and we're going to help life, all of life, heal and expand. And right now, this devil has had us tricking us to think that we need to be in patterns of gluttony, and that's keeping us separate. And that's part of what we've seen, okay? And we understand that we are having a recalibration to our 10 of Cups. We're having to do some revision on this. Like, these are like our blueprints, and we're going to get to the next level, and we're going to do some more work on this. It's a revision of it, because this is our best life. This is our best life. And we're going to talk about how that fits into what's going on here, but I really want to get this activation. And whatever this activation is connected to, it's connected to working in the Garden of Venus, the Nine of Pentacles here to expand with. And what happens in order to get us there? What happened in order to get us there is we had a 10 of Wands situation with force, with the Father. We have to heal with the Father right now. We have to heal with force. We have to heal with action. But in order to do that, we're using the mind, but we're laser focusing on the cups, the swords and the cups, the energy of Aquarius, the new world, right? Okay, let's get an activation. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, guys, there's two cards. So on the bottom of the deck, we have intention behind the mask. And it flipped out, these two cards. I think it's two. It's two, yeah, on top of this. on top of transformation. So how are we transforming here? Family, we're transforming with people. Look at that. And our intention, of course, our intention is peace. We saw that with the Two of Swords and the third eye activation. How to create peace, and then look, come together. And look, the two swans, and the two swans, they mate for life. Okay? Swan, don't many birds mate for life? I hope so. Okay. Now, so, okay, let's see the energy on the bottom of the deck. And the card just flew over, guys, from one of my other decks. Let's see what it is. The card flew on the ground. Okay, look, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, peace. I love this. Thank you. Thank you to the divine. Okay. We have to clear up conflict within the mind and create peace from the Seven of Swords situation. And look at the card underneath it. Because, guys, I have a whole bunch of cards over here. Like, just in case we have to do any sort of activation. And look what card's underneath. Death. And there it is. The Ace of Swords with the Queen of Swords. And now we're going to create with our truth. Well, when we, like, we have a different... Okay. When our frequency is authentic and we stand in our truth and we believe our truth as we stand in our truth, because we heal from where we're separate, like where we know we're lying to ourselves, or our subconscious knows we're lying to ourselves, right? Like it's keeping tally, like life, like it's keeping tally. Like even if we are lying to ourselves, the truth is here. It's woven in the fabric of existence, and we have access to it. And we're having access to it because we set ourselves free. Okay, and we're going to create with it because we set ourselves free from here. Now, let's see. So we're going to heal our intention, because our intention is not going to be behind a mask. We're going to be authentic. Our intention is now to create peace and to come together. And it's really, I feel like, to create a whole new world with people, with family, with what that is, with what that is for us. So we're going to take steps with our intentions. And this all has to do with the honoring path, where we are our best self here. We're our best self, and we're, you know, like, this is taking the high road. And understanding what taking the high road is humbly and truly. Like, this is not, you know, I'm just doing all these things, and because I'm doing all these things that say I'm a great person now, I can treat people like shit, and I'm in hierarchy, and I can do whatever I want, and I'm better than you. This isn't that. This is taking the path of God, the path of expansion, the path of, you know, like, of all our great ascended masters, like Buddha and, you know, Jesus. So it has to do with, we're going to change our energy to true love. Of course we are. And now look, guys, there's a connection to travel. And of course, we're going to have an event. We're going to travel. Where are we traveling? We're going home. Planning in action. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's get this back. You know, we're in Canada. We're in Canada. Who knows? Who knows what's happening now? Okay. So let's finish sharing this message. This is a big message, guys. Thanks for hanging tight. So something was seen here, we know, within the Queen of Pentacles during Virgo season. It was like a movie that was played back of all of our greatest moments of love that grounded us, and we were gifted stability. We got this activation of stability with the Queen of Pentacles, and that's what she's creating. She's playing back her whole movie like a life and creating stability with it and longing to create stability with it. And we know there was something she just wasn't seeing, and that's what she was being gifted, stability. And this is the Ace of Coins, and this is our life's purpose. This is working with the North Node in our life's purpose, and we're all here today because of the North Star. We're going to get into that. So this is part of our activation here today, one of our activation cards, because all of the stuff with the North Star we're going to be talking about because it's our reigning theme. So this is allowing us to create balance and restore balance through the earth. And you know what, guys? I feel like we're just going to get straight to this. It's because we're in a time of discovery with our intention. Like, we've been in a time of discovery, and we're discovering our authentic self. And it has to do with the Six of Cups. And remember, that's where we're meeting up. We're meeting up within the Six of Cups. Here. This is where we're coming back together. Because we've left this space in place. Remember, we've left here. And we're coming together through here. And that has to do with this Two of Pentacles. And that's how we're here. Okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to realize that we've healed from worry, lack of through the earth, lack of patterning, and we're stepping into a new level of co-creators. We're healing from narcissism and we're having an illumination with the sun. Why? Because of understanding this, understanding how to separate ourselves from this and to go home, to go home. So how we're doing that is we're expanding our consciousness with optimism. We have to change our energy here, okay? And we're doing that by freeing ourselves. She who frees, liberation, unrestrained freedom. And we talked about this. We have a reading dedicated to this, okay? She who frees. And we expand with the energy. We expand with the masculine. And what are we doing? We're emerging. We're having enlightenment. We're rising up. That's what we're doing. And it's because we expand with our consciousness. We're now deserving because we've separated ourselves from what we needed to separate ourselves from. We feel deserving. And what it's doing is it's activating our talents. We're having an activation of our talents, and we're in the time of endless possibilities as we expand with our happiness. And what is our happiness? It's our 10 of Pentacles. Okay? This is our 10 of Pentacles, our wealth. And we understand that we are in the time right now of manifesting this, but we had to go through a painful, remember that Tower moment situation in order to rebuild. It's a revision with our 10 of Cups and thus our 10 of Pentacles. So now we're in a time of manifestation. This is how we're going to start to feel. Because remember, we're changing the energy. We're expanding with the sun. It has to do with our life's purpose and our financial health. And we understand that these are one. Our life's purpose is our financial health. And we know our divine inheritance, which is our 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. So we're seeing something we need to see in order to have this connection. We are working with Scarab Beetle Spirit. We're working with the pain, what's toxic, what's gone wrong, the disconnections, the separation in order to get to where we're going as fuel to get even higher. We've made the right patterns here. We have the feminine and the masculine are connected. We're using Metatron's cube here. And that's because we've had an ending with the element of air. We had an ending here. It's time when we understand why we know separation. And thus everything is whole. We heal from being separate. Because it's separate that's getting us back to where we need to go to restore. And we're in the time of manifesting our 9 of Cups. But it's happening through what we know, the Ace. And 9 plus 1 is 10. This is the manifestation of the 10 of Cups through the Ace, okay? But we had to heal from this, the 5 of Pentacles, and this is here within this imagery to say everything, because there's so much to be said here. This is connected to our Tower moment and moments, and now we're working and expanding in the Garden of Venus as we understand we're a one. The feminine is here and the masculine is here, and we heal. And we heal, and we're able to have a time of completion because we're separating ourselves from what we need to separate ourselves from. And it's not each other or ourselves. We need to separate ourselves here. So our 10 of Pentacles is activated here. And it's connected to what? The star. Remember, the star is coming in to help us rebuild anew. Okay? Now, this is one of our activation cards. And that's what's been seen. A 10 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles situation. Remember, an ending with the element of air within the mind. in order to expand within the Garden of Venus and have a gain. And what was seen was how we are an infinite being, sacred spiral with spiders, right? And we talked about this the last time we met up. My reading is linked down below. Not the last time, but the time before that. Not the we are back, but that nature, this card is actually in the thumbnail. It's like nature is the glue that holds all the dimensions together. So we're hesitating on something though. We're hesitating on something. Ponder, delay, confidence. But we're going to restore motion. Remember, we have to heal from tension. We're going to restore motion. We've got the Chariot. That's how we got here. We keep getting the Chariot. Ah, and there's our connection to Cancer and the Crab. Haha, hilarious. Okay. So the ego. We're in the time of the ego collapse. Okay, guys. Sorry. We're just going to turn this off. We're in the time of the ego collapse. And why? Why? Because she who remains, powerful devotion, true worth. And that's what's good. That's what's going to be left to remain. Us. We're going through all of this to uncover us. So we know in order to do so, we woke the lion. But it was time for us to go beyond the ordinary. So we're going to do so by what? Having a new beginning. And this is connected now to the Prince of Wands. And that lion now being in alignment with that lion. Being in alignment with that animalistic part of herself. But treating herself right. Taking care of herself. Treating herself properly. Being authentic. Playing our authentic tune. To us, we leave the program. And there's a connection to what's happening with the new moon. Something's happening with the new moon, okay? Because we're going to see a connection to the Two of Cups through the Five of Cups in the 8. Okay? We're going to see beyond here, but we need to have this experience in order to see beyond. And it's a connection to the Five of Cups and what we've been holding on to. What we've been holding on to is making us toxic. So, and remember, it's emotional. So we need to let it go. So the High Priestess is here with, of course, secret knowledge for us. And we're going to have a purification. A purification is honored here with the pomegranate, as well as we're going to use our wisdom. And we're also working with Uranus, our great genius, and our connection to Aquarius. And this is where the Three of Cups is activated. We make an offering of what we're creating within this cup. And it's us. Remember, this is all about the cup. This goes back to getting well. And what is happening when we get well. Remember, that's what's being seen here in order to continue to create this. So we're going to get back to work. This is working in the Garden of Venus. 8 Pentacles plus the King of Pentacles. And look, this is knowing the devil. This is knowing this and expanding from this and having the willpower in order to do so. But it's through being authentic. It's through honoring our authentic path. So something is seen here. Something is seen within the mind to help us to heal within the mind and create peace. And it has to do with judgment. It has to do with a transition, a transformation, okay? But in order to do so, we're going to have a transition. We're going to transition from one space to another space in order to create it. And where we're creating it within us. We're creating it within that cup in order to get well. So what we do is we see what we need to see. We need to see what we need to see with the Father, where we need to act. We've picked healing. We've picked ourselves. We've picked our authenticity. And it's how to, what? Free ourselves from this space and place. And to even not get back there. To not get back to what we are separating ourselves from. Okay? And that is where motion is restored. Thanks to the moon and shape-shifting. And the energy of Cancer. Expanding with the cup. Expanding with the energy of motion. And that right now is connected to what's being gifted to us with the Ace of Coins. We're gonna shift through the earth. Remember, we got a gift of stability, and it's how to shift through the earth and continue to co-create our 10 of Pentacles. And so right now we're in a time of formation. We feel from disillusion. We're in a time of formation where, remember, we're in a time of balance, the moon and the sun. And this has to do with the eclipse. This definitely has to do with the eclipse. And what we're doing, what we're growing within the 7 of Pentacles. And what are we growing? Connection. But remember, it's connected to the 3 of Cups. And who are we offering that cup to? It's our connection to the cosmos, our starseed roots and homes, expanding our soul with our spirit. It's our connection to God and to the feminine. So there's the North Star. So this is another one of our activation cards. And it's because, remember, we had to make a comparison. We needed to see where something was alike and where it was different, so we could separate ourselves from what we needed to separate ourselves from. See what we were connected to and come home to one, to all, to everything. But in order to do that, we have to see that it's all everything. So we can leave this space and go home to this one. But it's all part of life. There's an acceptance here. There's some sort of acceptance. And this is where we have growth. We have growth in the Garden of Venus. We heal from decay because we're expanding with life. We have with the Princess of Discs here. We're going to transmute. Remember, it's about transmuting. This has to do with working with our lower chakras. Remember, we're expanding from this space and place and having our time of completion with the 4 of Wands. And we are in a time of transmutation here. We put together the pieces we need to put together. And now we restore balance with the Page of Swords thanks to Libra season, and we are balancing polarities with compassion and determination. And that is what's happening here. Now, we're going to share this message in our next parts, as well as we're going to share this message because this is the time that we're in. I love you, and I'll see you there.